So I'm gonna start with sharing my other work first. So here, I like working with this found object from everyday life. Those have include sewing pins and children's magic marker caps and line tape and cotton futon and things that you can find at the kitchen, like a threadback cap. I'm drawn to unknown possibilities of this humble object and also their social context. So I explore opportunity in between their inherent limit and potentials. Experiment and improvisation, as you heard what Judy described, is a big part of my art making process. So I follow my curiosity and intuition, just responding to whatever I discover through my hands-on exploration. And this material doesn't come with any like a clear instruction or any proven techniques. So it is perfect for me to do my open-ended expedition. So that means my endless trial and errors are inevitable, and sometimes it takes quite time for me to develop my own visual vocabulary or system. So in this installation mooring, all the sewing pins, small notions, like snap buttons and popped balloon from my kids ended up as a room size wall installation. And in the other installation, Best Buy, I pin up the bread bag tags with a sewing pin on eye level, like insect specimens. So viewer can re-examine the small plastic debris from our everyday life. I try to keep my process very simple and minimal, using very simple tools and very simple actions like collecting, assembling, and pinning, and cutting and pasting, or like folding and unfolding. This is one of my folded paper drawing that I'm working on, and this is another one, color one, and and this is a pulp paintings that I recycled. My cotton futon actually was my mom's wedding gift for me, but it transformed into colorful pulp paintings, reflecting my memories from Korea when I was growing up. And that cotton pulp become a sculpture for site-specific installation as well. um, Accepting and embracing imperfection and mistake or accident is a big part of my process as well. So each of my work is a um, unique and experimental piece. So basically, what I'm saying is what I do. What I do is I do whatever I want to do in my own way. So, in other words, it means like I'm not person like a Judy who has a complete um, mastery of a technique, precision, perfection, even execution. But I do set a very clear parameter not to stray and to pare down to the core of my work until my work becomes itself. So. And on, as you already know, learned from Judy, when I did a crochet on the very first day, I got to see all the amazing litho prints from previous artists. And Judy explained all the techniques that were used in each print. And also she told me all the possibilities that can happen during litho making process. So of course I was just super excited and but overwhelmed as well. But as usual, as I do, I without having any final um, image in my mind, I started my project. I showed this tiny collage, line tape collages. It's about 2.5 by and 2.5 by 2.5 by and then 2.5 inch small tiny collages and told her I want to make it big as a little print. So and then see what happened. So and this is my first print that I started. While I was working on this first, and I started the second one. And halfway of the second one, I started the third one because I just began to understand the process and language of a lithograph. And I suddenly all the ideas that I want to play with is emerging. So I had to do it and spreading out to all the direction, which is a very normal process for me. But for Judy, I imagine that was very stressful for her to work with me because I was not able to tell her clearly where I was heading to. So at one point, I had all work table that, as you saw in the picture, had all to myself, but I was running out of the space. So I was working on the floor on my knee and under very high pressure of a time, deadline. And around that time, at one point, she told me that with a huge smile on her face, and Yoonhee will make a beautiful print by Thursday, no matter what happened. So actually, I love to hear that because that reminds me our goal was clear as a collaborator, and I had a Judy behind me. So magically, that helped me to ease my stress and kept me going. So I don't have a picture of myself on the floor, but I have some picture from my residency. So we were running out of all the palette knives and mixing all the colors, and all the small plates you see on the second one was it to test all the exposure time. So and I had 1,000 questions for Judy, and her answer and very thoughtful suggestion was very crucial for me to make my own decisions. And whenever I added tiny elements and made a change, I imagine Judy had to recalibrate all the techniques and all order of a printing process backward from the deadline. I think so. I didn't know back then, but right now I am realizing more. So while I was preparing this talk, I remember one thing I discovered when I did this installation with in 19th century brick building in downtown Portland. Each one of these hand cast brick is slightly different in size and color, and none of them had perfectly square corners. But altogether, they stand as a very unique and beautiful wall. It was an obvious thing, but still, I was quite surprised to discover what actually hold this wall upright was a layer of a mortar in between each brick. The mortar fills all the gaps and covers all the flaws of bricks, and even more importantly, it levels out every row so the brick can be stacked up to their full potential height. So my print looks like Yoonhee Choi's work because of all the bezier mark that I left on the plates. But actually, what it really make a beautiful print is Judy's dedication to make all this print happen, just like a brick and mortar. So one of the most, I mean, my most complicated or complex print is a 8 color and 7 run lithograph. That means there were 8 different color were used and 7 different plate had to go through the press to make each of the print. So now you can see how all these complex elements and space slowly gets built up on the paper layer by layer through very intense physical printing process. Um, Most important, I mean, to me, I really want you, all of you can see there are many invisible layer of Judy's work that is invisible but added up in measurable depths to our prints. So, and Judy really understood how I work and how I need to work and embraced my open-ended process to the really last minute. And um, I really appreciate that. It was crucial for me to our successful collaboration. Oh, it's a little blurry. Um, I want to take a chance to thanks to Crochetos, all wonderful support they did during my residency, but also even after all promoting my work and support. And I'm so glad to be part of a wonderful community. So those are 2 seals is carefully embossed on each of my prints. And I'm so honored to have my name along with them. So hope you can find that, see that too. So thank you. Uh, and one thing I didn't know what we when we were doing residency was just so time tight. So it was nice to hear what Judy's thoughts is during the residency this time. So thank you.